it's hard for me to group my thoughts together, because I'm one who really wants to give a real long, drawn-out explanation to this point, then go on to this point, and it takes me a really long time to get my... When I talked to my roommate about this issue, I'd still be in the first 2 minutes of what I said, talking about it at a much more intense level. It takes me forever to get those thoughts out and form them the right way, so I sound much better when I have more time put my thoughts together. I think in pictures. My test is 100% visual learner, and it's hard to take these visuals and describe them quickly in a video. One area that I wish I could get to that I think is so important, here's some interventions. If you have a child with severe autism, and I'm staying very basic here, and you go to the grocery store and he melts down, well, obviously he's screaming, he's freaking out, he's on the floor, he's kicking. A kid with more severe autism, or someone who's not verbal, they may be very intelligent, they're going to present one way, and the parents have to sort of stand back and try to figure out what's going on. Is it everything in the environment? Is it lighting? Stick some sunglasses on the kid and see if he calms down. There's all these things they can try, but the number one thing they're going to do that would help the kid, if the kid's not handling the environment, remove the kid from the environment so the kid can calm down. Guess what the intervention is for a kid with Asperger's who's in freak out, who's having what Tony Atwood calls a depression attack, which comes on fast, out of the blue. It's exactly the same. Remove the kid from the environment. The difference is you can teach a kid with Asperger's to recognize when he's handling something and when he's not. So you could say to the kid with Asperger's, if you're feeling stressed out in a classroom, either raise your hand, tell the teacher. If they are afraid to speak out, they have these little dials that they can take up into the red zone, which is warning zone. Teacher tells the child, go take a break. Take a book to the library. That's the example Tony Atwood gave. It's the same intervention, but because someone is at a ability where they can communicate more, they can possibly be taught, like I'm teaching myself, to recognize their own limits. But it's the same thing happening to both individuals, the child with autism, the child with Asperger's, and the same treatments. The intervention that I feel is a good one, it's my own personal opinion, is the same for both. It's just modified a little differently for a child who's higher functioning. They're both having overstimulation issues. Not that a kid can never act out, because they just don't want to do their schoolwork. And I think if an adult knows a child, they can probably tell the difference. And then I believe in telling the kid to do his homework. I mean, it's easy for me to see the difference. I don't know if that's because I have autism. I've seen it in my family, so I know the difference. When I see one of my family members who basically goes into meltdown, I can instantly see the difference between that and us just having a family argument. It's really distinct in how it presents. It's so different. I don't know if I'm autistic, not severely autistic, and not Asperger's, or if other people with Asperger's have these issues, but no one's discussing them openly. And if they are, I wish we could talk about it more openly, so that, I guess, to me, raising awareness about the disability is about helping people understand, yes, the gifted side, but if that's all they know, they think we're, just send me to college to be my, I'll go win a Nobel Prize or something. I mean, it's, not all of us are there, and I'm not there. And I don't think I'm alone on that. I think maybe it's hard for Aspies to socialize. It's hard for us to express ourselves, so we're not able to get it out right on the internet. I'm not saying this issue occurs for all people with Asperger's or occurs the way it does with me. And my main point in this video is to point out that I see Asperger's and autism as basically the same thing. It just presents differently according to the person's functioning level. And some of the core problems, at least that I've dealt with in my life, if it wasn't for parents who had kids with autism, I wouldn't know what I know now. This is the weighted vest I wear, and if I go into a situation where I'm really stressed out, or I know I'm going to be, have a harder time handling the environment, anxiety, which can lead to overstimulation, I wear this. It's got these bean bags in them. There's a ton of them. It weighs a ton. And that helps apply the pressure that I get when I do this. It's a positive way to get deep pressure. It follows the occupational therapies, the squeeze machines, the pressure seekers. We like that. So deep massages on my arms and shoulders my roommate can do if needed. I'm pretty good at doing this on my own most of the time. Meltdowns don't just happen from outside sources all the time. Or meltdowns don't just happen from an overstimulation, like pushing myself to do too much online, and then I get myself worked up. I was sitting in my living room when I first moved here, and we have a nut tree back there. A nut lands on the roof. I don't know it's going to land. I am up banging myself in the face before I even realize what's going on. Those are your unexpected startles. Quick changes, things coming at you, you don't know they're coming at you. These are things that I think are common amongst autistics, and I don't like separating it. If they do separate it, I need to get on the autistic side, because I'm not going to qualify for that high of a level in the Asperger side. And I won't get the understanding I need for my issues, and it's not as much about me. I worry a lot about kids not getting the kind of support and understanding they need. If they have meltdowns, they may be seen as brats, kids who are rude. I think the sensory issue is a big one, and I think it's either affecting a lot on the spectrum, regardless of where you're at. Some to different degrees than others. But I can't quite relate to the people with Asperger's who who apparently don't seem to be discussing that they have. I'm not talking about all people with Asperger's. I'm referring to a video where a guy wants to separate the entire, both spectrums, and he has this one way of seeing autistic people, this other way of seeing Aspies. I bounced all over the spectrum to get information, anything that could help me. And the big issues for me, organizational skills, that's an Aspie name. It's a lot more than what I'm saying in this video. I have a hard time getting my thoughts out right. I'm still nervous in front of the camera. But I hope people understand that I'm trying to point out that, to me, I relate to autism more than Asperger in general, unless there's other Aspies out there like me, and I just haven't met them yet. In the areas that I discussed with dealing with certain kind of issues that have led to some really major problems throughout my life. This just get over it and calm down does not work. Most of the time when you're going to have a meltdown, you don't always know it's coming until you're like right there. It's a hard thing to catch, and they come on fast. But